felt like you don't belong, like your colleagues and friends are going to see through you. They're going to discover that you're not good enough, that you're a fraud, that you're not deserving of your accomplishments and the job that you have right now? If yes, you're in good company. These feelings are attributed to a phenomenon we call impostor syndrome. About 70% of people are going to feel these feelings, are going to have these feelings in their lifetime, right? According to an article that was posted in the International Journal of Behavioral Medicine. Okay, so imposter syndrome it happens to everybody, right? It happens to CEOs, it happens to Michelle Obama, it happens to even a housekeeper, from the highest to the lowest, it happens to everybody. So babe, what would you call an imposter syndrome? How would you define it?
Okay, good introduction that you've just given. Imposter syndrome, I would say in my words, it's doubting your abilities and feeling like a fraud. Even when you are very good at what you do, or you're making an attempt, you are getting better every day, you're improving on your act or your gig or your job or whatever it is. So that feeling of not being good enough, that feeling of not belonging, those are the attributes or the symptoms of the imposter syndrome.
Yeah, but what would you say it looks like for most people? Right? For me, I would say overachieving. Like you've achieved success, but you feel like, oh my God, I don't think I'm worthy of these accolades. I don't think I'm worthy of these awards. I feel like I need to get more. I need to go to school. I need to achieve more to fill that void of unworthiness, right? And what else would you say imposter syndrome is for most people?
Yeah, that point is also important. I could go on that track you just laid. For the most people, it's called in psychology the treadmill effect, where you think that the best of you is in your future.
Okay.
The best of you is in your next accomplishment. You have a first degree, you want to get a master's degree to make you feel qualified. You want to get a PhD to make you feel that you now deserve the things that life brings to you. You always think that you are not sufficient of yourself, and the best of you is in the future.
It is a vicious cycle.
It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
It's a race to the bottom.
Yes.
You never get. You keep digging.
Yes.
And that's not a path to happiness of any kind.
Yes.
That's not a path to joy and living a good life.
Yeah.
So that's a key definition also, or a key way to describe the imposter syndrome for many people. Mostly the people that are on the race somewhere, enrolled on the path of personal development, wanting to achieve something great and all of that.
How about letting people's negative opinion or comments dominate the positive ones you've gotten?
Yes.
Right? Yes, it's just like you posting, say, going out of your way to post a picture on Instagram, right? You being vulnerable, you're posting a picture out on Instagram, and you get good compliments, but there's this negative comment that you wouldn't let go of your. Do you get?
Yeah, that happens to virtually every one of us. In the social media age, it's very hard to be vulnerable, in part because of imposter syndrome, because you do something great, you just got a degree, I don't know, you just got maybe a new job and you posted it there, and somebody 50 comments on your timeline, 49 was wow, wonderful,
amazing,
great,
congratulations,
amazing, congratulations. One comment was, are you sure?
Do you have to share this?
Do you have to share this? I think they call it cancel culture or something.
Yes, that's
it's very prevalent in our age because everybody has access to you. Once you put out your thoughts or your achievements, people can throw their feelings, on you, and you are most likely not going to, if you leave yourself to your default emotional base, you will not respond well. Your mind will pick on that negative one over the 49 people who said you were great. That's imposter syndrome acting because you forget and you start to question, am I really great? Because of the one comment that says that should you have even shared this? Or are we really sure you got that degree? There are many fake degrees in town today. And that little one comment out of 50, that's what your mind will pick, and it could even ruin your day if you're not careful.
And I feel like for something like this, let's say you get compliments and there's this negative compliments that covers all of the good things people have said about you. I think you should see it as this person looking at you as somebody that represents what they wanted to achieve.
Correct.
Okay, and because they couldn't achieve that, they tear you down.
Correct.
You
Correct.
get, so you have to see it that way in order to combat or overcome this kind of feelings. Right?
Definitely.
So can you give us like a personal experience as to when you felt like a fraud, like an imposter?
I mean, who am I to sit in front of the camera? Really? You understand? Yes.
What do we know?
What do you know? Who are we to sit in front of the camera? That's imposter syndrome playing out. Who are you to have what you have in life? Who are you to be a parent? Who are you to have, the means that you have?
Yeah, who are you to tell people about marriage?
Yes. Some years back we said our first year in marriage, we're going to write a book on, until we had the frank talk, I said, okay, should we be writing a book?
We've not,
Yeah, we are just 2 years,
starting.
in this thing.
Yeah.
So that's imposter syndrome playing out there. It says to you, you're not enough.
Good enough.
You're not good
need
enough.
to, even when you have the experience.
Yes, you still, the best of speakers, for example, still have butterflies in their tummy. They
For
still
sure.
doubt themselves a lot of times.
Yes.
Footballers will still tell you they had a bad day.
Yeah.
And this thing dates back to even growing up. I remember then in secondary school, I go representing my school, maths cowboy competition, spelling bee, all of those in Lagos, Nigeria. And you get to those quiz competitions and you see that boy or that girl with a glass and a rope.
Yeah.
The glass.
Looking like a professor.
Yes, the glass with ropes. And you now say to yourself, no, this competition is not for me. They deserve it more.
Yeah.
Because they look it, they show it, they speak it. But you don't look like that. That's imposter syndrome playing out even while we're young. So again, it's a very relatable thing. At the point where we are, no matter what you've achieved in life, it still keeps coming. When I was blogging and I wrote my first 2 books, even before I published those books, I was like, okay, who are you to even write a book?
Yeah.
And some people will actually tell you, not just the voice in your head.
Yeah.
Some people will tell you that.
Some friends.
What have you done?
Call themselves,
Yes, mostly when you don't yet look like it.
Yes.
You don't yet have all of those appendages of success.
Yes.
You have a car, you live abroad, or you travel abroad for summer.
You don't have all of those things.
You don't have those things.
Yeah.
You don't look like it. They will doubt you. It's even
you're
a lot
not a master. You shouldn't teach me how to live my life.
Yes. We were watching a master class series, on
Yeah.
YouTube the last time, and the lady was like, okay, she had to fight the thought of, are you a master? Why do you want to take a master class?
Why don't you teach a master class?
Why do you want to teach a master class?
Yes.
So that's the way it is. It happens to the best of us, and it's very, very relatable.
I think for me, anytime I transition into a new role, I always have that. Let's say I get a new job, I always have that thought. Am I good enough? If they find out that I don't really know how to do this, I'm going to get fired.
Fraud.
Yes. And I've also, as a nurse, I've had patients tell me, "Wait, are you my nurse? Are you sure you know? Because you look really small. You're very young. Are you sure you know what you're doing?
The science of this.
So when you get this kind of comments, you have to fight through it, right?
Yeah.
And also when you nearly asked me out many years ago. When you asked me to, of course, be your girlfriend and then, of course, get married, blah, blah. There was this feeling like, does he know what he's doing? I think there are other people, like in the fellowship, you get, or like in life, that might be better suited. I think this one is more spiritual.
Likey guy, this likey guy.
Yeah, so for people, and you have to fight those thoughts.
Yes.
You get? You have to really fight those thoughts. Okay, so how would you advise us to combat this phenomenon, this syndrome?
Acknowledge it first for what it is. You must identify.
I'm feeling this way.
Yes, that's 50% of the battle.
Yeah.
You must know what's going at the back, behind the scene. Once you've identified it, then you can now, nip it in the bud. You can now tackle it. There are many ways. You can start by even laughing it off. I know you are here again. I'm better than this.
And also,
I've done X, Y, Z before. Affirmations are important.
I am good enough.
I deserve the best things in life.
I've worked hard for it.
I've worked hard for this. Don't feel guilty when you spend money your history might not justify you spending in the way you spend because of maybe I don't know where you're coming from. But again, you need to have that self. You need to feel that you are deserving of the best things of life. You need to, and affirmations that's an internal way of reinforcing positive emotions. But again, you can get it externally. You can speak with people who know you for the value you represent.
So your hype squad.
Your
as it
hype
were.
squad.
Yes.
Yeah. People to hype you, your hype men as it were. People who are going to talk you up, not people who are going to talk you down.
Yeah. So like when you're going through these
Such
feelings,
moments, you know. Speak to such people. Don't go around negative energy. Don't go around people who are not happy with you because you are a representation of the best things they cannot achieve or they have not been able to achieve. Just like what you said earlier. So you need to have that kind of circle and energy around you.
To remind you of who you are.
To remind you of who you are. It's very important.
You're the GOAT, you're the greatest of all time. Things like that.
Muhammad Ali.
Break a leg.
Break a leg. But Muhammad Ali kept saying he was the greatest before he actually became the greatest. You know, so that's the thing. I am the greatest, but it was not until he became it. You know, so there is that part of speaking yourself into it, speaking yourself into having that positive energy. You know, take a breather when it comes, you know, and put it where it belongs. Have those positive narratives to counter the negative ones in your head. You know, it's very important.
Yeah, I like all that you've said. When we do this, we destroy the hold of shame.
Yes.
Do you get shame holds us down? Do you get so when you shed the light on your feelings, when you of course express it to a loved one or somebody on your hype squad, somebody that can of course remind you of who you are, you break that hold.
Yes.
Do you get so that is something that we should practice more often. Affirmations as well.
Yeah, shame is. I mean, I read somewhere about the equation of shame. You know, shame is. There's a science to it in some way. Shame is people giving it to you. You choose to take it or not. Do you get? It's not just happening. You know, it's like rejection. People reject, they send rejection your way. You can choose to take it or not. It's the same thing with shame. You can choose to say, I'm going to take this. And when people don't, you know, they don't like what you do or they say your work is not great, they are speaking to your work, not you.
Not you. Don't take it personal.
Don't take it personal. It's very important. When people say I'm not satisfied with what you've done,
like the cancel culture you mentioned.
Exactly, cancel culture. Always make the effort to detach your product or the things that come out of you from your person.
You're not your product.
You're not your product. You're not your service. You're not your ideas. Even though they represent you, but you are not it. There is you. You know, so you need to be able to put these things in perspective so that you can ensure that these things don't come to you. Mostly with all the virtues that are thrown on social media, because somebody just behind the computer on the phone has not achieved anything that you have achieved somewhere without a face and a name, mostly powerful names. They make comment, they try to bully you, all of that. If you're not going to do anything great, you're going to stand up for and tell the world, give the world a picture of your own definition of how it should work. You know, you want to do bold and audacious things, you have to
be vulnerable.
To be vulnerable.
That's correct. Yeah. So, any final words? You've already said.
I mean, there's so much to talk about in this subject. You, like I said, identify it for what it is and put it where it belongs. Keep the right energy around you. It's not normal to be shocked at what's normal. You know, imposter syndrome it comes to the best of us. Even from Bible times, we saw Moses, we saw Gideon.
Lord, am I good enough? Are you sure? I don't have like Moses, right? I stammer.
I'm not.
But God was like, who makes the mouth?
Yes, I can choose to do it the way whatever I want. And see Gideon, the man was hiding somewhere, and God was telling him, "See, I've made you." You know, and he wasn't sure of himself. He was doubting, himself and all of that. So again, these things are real life issues. Some people don't even manage, and it gets to the point of depression.
Yes.
You know, some people can even lose their jobs because they are not confident of what they already know. If you stand up in the room to speak, you're not going to be killed. You know, if you raise your hand to be generous, to contribute, you know, your ideas or your own, like I said earlier, your ideas of how you think the world works or how you should work. And when you do that, you challenge the popular culture and people will come against you, you know. But when you do that, we'll recognize you, because people don't recognize you for their similarities. They recognize them for their differences. And if you choose to be different, you are choosing to be vulnerable. You are choosing to stand out of the pack. And when you choose to stand out of the pack, people are going to point fingers at you. They're going to look at you with eyes throwing shame at you. But choose to not take that shame.
Yeah, and of course, this has happened to me multiple times where I have an idea, but I keep mute because I'm like, or they don't want to hear your idea, you know.
Who are you
Oh,
to-
please
who are
say
you
that to yourself.
To say, share an idea.
Yes, amazing, amazing. And also, there are those of the school of thought that you should fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
I feel like those kind of people, I mean, I think I used to be, I don't know,
Yes,
I used to believe that, but
yes.
yeah, and who knows, maybe I had given someone that kind of advice. Fake it till you make it. But the truth is, this kind of ideology causes imposter syndrome.
True.
Because you have this feeling that, oh my God, I'm faking, I'm a fraud right now.
Yes,
What if they find out? Yes, be vulnerable. Show the world who you really are.
Yeah.
Don't fake it. Don't put a front. Don't, show.
That's that fake it till you make it is the background of the imposter syndrome.
Yes. Because
a lot of time it's that's how the abuse also. I think that's the abuse that fuels it. Because not everybody that is making it is faking it.
Yeah.
You know, but everybody sometimes, a lot of times, people tend to think that everybody who's making it or always appearing to be making it is faking it. But it's not true.
Yeah.
You know, some people actually have earned. If you go to school and do your PhD, I mean, you've earned the right to a seat in the room, for example. If you're an expert in the subject, you've earned the right to your seat in the room.
Yeah.
You've earned the right to stand on the microphone and speak to people because you've also paid your price or paid the price. So, you need to understand the science behind this.
Yeah.
And, that gives you, gets you ahead of it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Don't fake it till you make it. If you don't know something, go learn.
Go learn. It's
important.
Yes,
it's important. Yeah. It is important.
Yes.
This is the only way to overcome the imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
You really knowing your onions, knowing how to do things, just so that when you stand, say in front of an audience to probably give a speech or something, you know that you truly know
what you're saying.
What you're saying.
That's not to say that you should not make attempts. That's not to say that you should not, be enrolled in that school of improvement. And that's not to say you've got to be an expert before you can show up. Jose Mourinho never played football. He's one of the best coaches in the world. You don't need to go through the popular track to be able to lead in a field, per se.
Just find a balance.
Find a balance. A lot of times you're even more
ready than you think.
Yeah, there's the idea of readiness and preparedness. Most times we are more ready than we feel. We are more prepared. People think that, okay, I'm prepared for this day. I'm prepared for my showing up. But I'm not ready enough. But more often than not, you are more ready than you know.
Yeah.
Because readiness is a feeling.
That's correct.
We didn't think that we were very ready to start to take this talk this afternoon.
Yeah.
We felt that, okay, maybe we could have discussed more or shared on what to say. But now we're talking. Here we are. All of your experiences, all of your engagement, exchanges in life has prepared you for today.
That's correct.
Has prepared you for this moment. It's your finest hour. Take it.
Yeah.
Take the stage, own it, and do your thing.
All right. Thanks for listening to episode 2. See you next week.
Okay, your dreams are valid.
Yeah.
Go for it. Be the best you can be. Break a leg. Break something. Make a ruckus.
Yeah.
Be bold. Be audacious. The world is waiting for you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.